Congratulations! By completing the first 3 courses, you have made it through some of the most challenging decisions and lessons that come with choosing to homeschool. Now that we have covered the basics for getting started, it is time to consider what your homeschool will look like. What schedule will you keep? How will you document your child's progress? And what will your learning space look like? In this video, I will walk you through some of the options and things to consider. Before I begin, remember to familiarize yourself with the specific laws and regulations for homeschooling in your area. These will benefit you in knowing what is required for scheduling, attendance, documentation and reporting, testing, and so on. I want to first touch on the topic of schedules and routines. For many people, the flexibility that comes with homeschooling is a major perk. You are in control of your schedule. For some families, it helps to have a daily routine, one that has a similar start time and end time, along with some daily rituals. In our homeschool, my students know that we begin our mornings with yoga and a short poetry reading. Other families may begin with a Bible verse or reflection question. Maybe you're more of a sleep in, start around noon kind of a family. Decide what works for you and set clear expectations. Sometimes the reason for homeschooling is for the flexibility and the ability to fit lessons into the spaces of our days as we're able to, around doctor appointments, phone calls, and whatever else comes our way. This may mean that each day's schedule looks different and requires more spontaneity than having a set start time, end time, or rituals. This is an option to consider as well, and it may work better for your family. Another part of scheduling to think about is whether your family would prefer a year-round homeschool or a more traditional school year with a summer break. Naturally, my children are always learning, even through the summer months. That said, we do slow down during certain times of the year, including around the holidays and summer months, to add in some additional fun to all of our lessons. While public schools will often present each subject area every day of the week, homeschooling offers several different options for presenting curriculum. Yes, you can continue to do lessons in each subject every day, but I caution against burnout for both you and your children. If you do wish to do lessons in each subject every day, I recommend sticking to a 4 days a week schedule rather than 5, and give your children and yourself a fun Friday, or whatever weekday is best for you, to play educational games, take field trips, and add in special learning experiences. If you choose an alternative schedule, there are a lot of options. The first is block scheduling. Block scheduling is mapping out your week to complete certain subjects on certain days. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you could focus on math, language arts, and history, while Tuesday and Thursday, you complete science lessons and experiments alongside music lessons and physical education activities. This is a predictable, planned schedule. Another option is loop scheduling. Rather than assigning certain subjects to certain days, loop scheduling just means that you keep a list of subjects to get through, and as you complete one, you move to the next, and on down the list. Once all subjects have been completed, you loop back to the first subject on that list, no matter what day it is. Loop scheduling provides homeschoolers with a more relaxed schedule option and the ability to extend certain subjects and lessons as needed. The final option I'm going to cover in this course is extended subject scheduling. Just as the name infers, extended subject scheduling is choosing to focus on one subject matter for an extended period of time before moving on to the next subject matter. Some homeschooling families have found focusing solely on one subject matter allows for a deeper investigation and better mastery of the topic, while others have found their children did not retain as much information. I find it really helps to decide what needs to get done from what you want to get done in the planning. In our homeschool, my children know that there are 2 subjects we do daily, no matter what: language arts and math. I believe these are the core subjects that matter most, especially in the early years. Those 2 subjects are my non-negotiables. From there, I like to use block scheduling to plan our history, science, technology, and foreign language. Occasionally, my students will latch on to a topic that requires more of an extended subject scheduling, with bits of language arts and math sprinkled in daily for good measure. Think about what scheduling will look like for your homeschool, but remain open to switching up occasionally as needed. Know your needs from your wants and stick to your non-negotiables. Now that we've covered scheduling, it's time to explore the topic of documentation of student learning. The first way to document student learning is through grading. Using a grading scale and crafted rubrics, you'd assign letter grades to students' work. But even this type of documentation can be broken down further, giving you the option of traditional grading or teaching to mastery. In traditional grading, you assign a letter grade to any test, quiz, or assignment upon completion. If you're teaching to mastery, students have unlimited opportunities to fix errors and make corrections, improving their work and increasing their grade. In teaching to mastery, it is more important for students to learn from their mistakes, correct their mistakes, and master the material than to achieve a letter grade. Another way to document student learning is through tests. Now, I know that some areas require standardized testing, but you'll need to also consider what tests or quizzes will look like in your homeschool day to day. Are tests and quizzes something you plan to utilize? Or do you have a different method in mind for assessing students' progress? One of those different methods may be PBL, or project-based learning. Personally, I love project-based learning as it is an option that encourages inquiry and can be directed by the students. Essentially, PBL documents students' learning through a 7-step process. Explore an issue, state what is known, define the issues, research, investigate solutions, present a chosen solution, and review performance. The ways in which students choose to present a solution are endless and can vary greatly, from writing a letter to building something they've designed, creating a life-size model to performing a skit. PBL is a great way for students to practice a wide variety of skills. Many families who use PBL also document student learning through the portfolio method. Portfolios are a lot like scrapbooks, containing photographs, artwork, writing examples, anecdotes, and summaries of student progress. Traditionally, portfolios were kept in photo albums and scrapbook form, but online electronic portfolio options are becoming increasingly popular. There are many free services online for creating portfolios, including Google Drive and OneNote, as well as some pay-to-create companies that put the portfolios together for you. Some states do have specific requirements for what counts toward portfolio documentation, so be sure to review your homeschool laws and regulations when deciding what method of documentation is best for your family. Are you starting to get a better image of what your homeschool experience will look like? To make it even clearer, I'd like to have you complete the last template for this workshop. This is a game of this or that. Read the option on the left and compare it to the option on the right, then circle the one that your family finds most appealing. Don't see the choice that you like? Write it in. This game is meant to get you thinking about what you'd choose to incorporate into your homeschooling journey and what things you wish to leave out. To help, I've included a second page to this template reviewing what some of the homeschooling jargon means.